With all the playoff positions settled and accounted for, the Canyon Cougars come into the final game of 2017 looking to send their seniors out on a high note and to carry momentum into the offseason. Tonight, the Cougars face one of the traditional powers of Texas high school football, the six-time state champion Judson Rockets, a team coming off an overtime loss last week, still with an outside shot at a district championship. It's the Canyon Cougars and the Judson Rockets coming up next here on the Cougars Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.
We help mutants endangered. You're with us now.
If you missed an episode of The Gifted, watch anytime. It's the show critics are calling chills-inducing. Promises to be one of the best Marvel TV series.
These people need help.
The Gifted is all new Monday on Fox, or watch anytime on demand or Fox Now.
And welcome back to Cougars Stadium, a wonderful rendition of our national anthem by the Cougar Marching Band as the colors have made their way off the field. Kickoff just moments away. It's artificial matrix turf here at Cougar Stadium. It's a red interlocking CC at midfield. The end zone to the west has Canyon in red print. The end zone to the east has Cougars in red print. Judson in their road jerseys tonight. Gray pants, white jerseys, red numbers. Gray helmet with the red Judson Rocket logo on both sides. Canyon in their home senior night jerseys, red pants, red jersey, white numbers, white helmet with the red interlocking CC on both sides. The Rockets won the toss, elected to receive, so Canyon will kick the ball off, going left to right, and we'll have our first look here momentarily, Roland, of which quarterback will be out to lead the Judson Rockets.
Well, the mystery will soon be unveiled here as we find out. We've had the same question, I guess, even last week against East Central, who was going to get the start. So we saw the sophomore last week. Certainly did a good job leading the team, not to a victory, but of course you see definite potential and things that can materialize for him there. And Judson never a shortage of talent.
Rashad Wisdom and Kenyon Morgan are in deep receiving at the 5-yard line for Judson. Jacob Martinez has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Puts his hand down. We'll have an 8-yard charge into it. It is a high spinning short kick to the near sideline that will go out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Illegal procedure. Now, Roland, this is not a bad penalty. One, if the return man would have fair caught it inbounds, it would have been at the 33. It goes out of bounds in this scenario, and I think the damage is just that they'll move the ball to the 35 and you minimize the return.
That's right. You kind of take the risk out there.
That's how I would do it or play it. In fact, Judson will actually take 5 yards from where the ball went out of bounds, so instead of having it at the 35, the ball will be spotted at the Rocket 38-yard line. The Rockets come out, will be moving right to left, have Jalon Williams, the 190-pound senior quarterback, in to start. Hand off to McCormick up the middle. Sincere McCormick gets out to the 41-yard line. Should be a gain of about 4.
And guess who on the stop? We've seen him so many times this season. Zach Van Steel with a big stop for Canyon.
Coming up from his safety position, a quick 2nd down and 6 here for Judson. Fake to Sincere McCormick coming to the near side on a bubble screen. Pass is caught by Keyshawn Fisher, who's dragged out of bounds. No gain there on the play.
Great pursuit that time by the Cougar defense. As a matter of fact, Cole Seeley came over to knock the Judson receiver, that being Fisher, out of bounds to stop him for little to no gain.
3rd down opportunity for the Cougars on a defense as the ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Williams back to pass, steps up in the pocket, still with time, delivers on a crossing route. Ball is caught at the 46-yard line into Cougar territory. Making the grab is Sean Richburg.
And Fabian Facundo back defensively that time for Canyon. They got their passing game working, that one.
Third catch for Richburg on the year. Gets the ball into Cougar territory and a fresh set of downs at the 47. Out of the gun, Williams fakes the handoff, back to pass, flushed out to the left side under some great pressure by the Cougar line. Williams will trot out of bounds. A little gimpy is how I saw him head immediately towards the sideline. Gets to the 45 and a gain of 2.
You know, so far what we're seeing from the Cougar defense is they are getting in. They're penetrating that offensive line of the Rockets and putting some pressure on the quarterback. Now just to finish the tackle there be important.
On 2nd down and 8, handoff to McCormick up the middle, and the Cougars are there to limit the gain. Tackle made by Martin Davis after a gain of 1.
Martin Davis, the leader on this squad in tackles, or certainly among the leaders, have himself a great season.
Another 3rd and long for Judson, 3rd down and 7. At the Cougar 44-yard line, moving right to left. Back to pass, Williams under pressure. He's flushed out to the right. Heaves it down the sideline, and that ball is caught at the 20-yard line by Keyshawn Fisher once again to the 16-yard line. Another first down on 3rd and long.
Yeah, Facundo back defensively. I believe he was back there with Cooper home from his defensive back position.
Opening possession of the ball game for Judson. They have it 1st and 10 at the 16. Handoff to Wisdom, and the play is stopped due to penalty. I don't think the Rockets were set. This should be a legal procedure.
You know, thus far we've seen the Cougar defense kind of zeroing in on the running game of the Judson Rockets right now, which is, of course, opening things up for their quarterback Williams to throw the football, which he's done successfully. A couple of plays thus far that have marched them down this far in Cougar territory.
And one thing I've seen, Roland, in obvious passing downs, the Cougars defensively have been able to collapse that pocket and at least make Williams uncomfortable as he's back to pass.
That's right, rushing him, absolutely. So the defense getting it done. They just got to, that secondary's just got to tighten up on the receivers.
1st and 10 Judson from the 16. Handoff to Wisdom. Going to the right side. Turns up at the 15. Still on his feet across the 10. Spun out of bounds short of the first down on a gain of 8. Rashad Wisdom, the 190-pound junior. 6 carries for 68 yards last week versus Smithson Valley. He's lined up to the left of Jalon Williams on 2nd down and 2. Wisdom with the handoff going to the right side. Flag comes in. The Cougars are there to prevent the first down. We'll just have to check the flag.
Nothing doing there that time. Good heads-up tackle by the Cougar. I guess it was one of the defensive linemen. I didn't quite get his number coming over. That may have been him right there, number 83.
Reagan Hopper is number 83 on the defensive end.
Absolutely, and just trying to get the call, and I guess this is against Judson, so this is going to back it up.
A holding call on that run play will set up a 3rd, check that, a 2nd down and 12. Push the ball back to the 19-yard line. 2 receivers here to the near side. Williams bat to pass, looking to the near side over the middle. That ball is incomplete. Into a couple of, well, actually, I don't know who that was intended for. It was too far for Keith Jefferson, but also he had a tight end over the middle. Either way, try to split the difference, and the ball's incomplete.
Cooper home, Vance McKay back there defensively.
Another 3rd down opportunity. Judson is 2 for 2 on this drive, the opening drive of the ball game. Just under 10 minutes to go in the opening period. No score. This is 3rd and 13. Can the Cougars get a stop here? Out of the gun, Williams back to pass, steps up in the pocket, has plenty of time. Now here comes pressure. Still with some time, he'll run out to the right, keeping his eyes downfield, heaves it into the back corner of the end zone. One-handed catch is made, but he's out of bounds. Incomplete.
He was out of the end zone. As a matter of fact, I was seeing a lot of the Judson receivers doing that, one-handing the football in pregame. But, yeah, that one just out of the reach. The quarterback, Jalon Williams, has been able to kind of dance his way out of trouble and step up into the pocket. That time, he bought himself some time, but we were mentioning, pass just too far for the intended receiver.
Impressive catch nonetheless. Here's Shane King, the kicker for Judson. This will be a 37-yard attempt from the far hash out of the hold of Joseph Hudson. Snap back, kick up on the way, and this ball is good. 9:41 left to go in the first period. Judson strikes first by way of a 37-yard field goal from Shane King. Our score, Judson 3, Cougars get the ball back on the other side of these words on the Cougars Network.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration, Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
We're running just a little bit more than 5 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter, and the Judson Rockets on the scoreboard first. And, Ben, you have to say, tip the cap to the defense, because what could have been didn't happen. They held them to only 3 points, and that's a good hold considering what this Judson Rocket offense is capable of.
A 10-play, 52-yard drive for Judson, and Roland, what I was impressed with, one, you got to be impressed with Judson being able to convert on 2 of 3 third down conversions. But the other side of the football, Canyon forcing those third down and longs. You got to make Judson beat you in those ways. And the Cougar defense so far up to the challenge and putting up a good fight. Kickoff goes to the far sideline. It's picked up by Watanabe with a head of steam across the 30, thrown forward across the 35, shy of the 40. Good field position now upcoming for the first look of the Canyon Cougar offense.
All right, and here comes Xavier Perez and the troops. Let's see if they've got an answer offensively. As we said, they're taking from last week, now being able to finish their drives, and let's just see if that confidence is remaining with them this week.
Xavier, 5'11", 185-pound junior, completing 55% of his passes with a 4-3 touchdown interception ratio. Ball spotted at the Cougar 39. Moving left to right on the far hash. Haney to the right of Xavier. Send a man in motion. That's Farr. Give it to Farr, who's in trouble trying to do an end around. He is dropped for a loss by big Demarion Leal.
Boy, he did. He broke through that offensive line of Canyon and got to the running back. Just big pursuit that time from an always tough Judson defense.
Loss of 7 will make it second down and 17 for the Cougars offensively. Leal, a 283-pound junior defensive lineman on the defensive front for Judson. Snap back to Perez, has a wide receiver screen. It's caught by Farr with some room across the 40. Now into Rocket territory at the 40-yard line. Caught from behind at the 35 by Chris Mills, but not before a big gain and a Cougar first down.
Oh, Callan Farr, you always know you can go to him for the big catch, and he's shown that so many times, especially as the weeks have come on here during this season.
Cougars quickly up to a line after a gain of 35 by Callan, who's one of the district leaders in reception. Came into this ball game 47 catches on the year for 392 yards, so that will put him over the 400-yard mark for the young sophomore. First and 10 Canyon from the Rocket 33. Fake it to Haney. Perez will try to keep, and there's nowhere for him to go. Stuffed by Leal and Corey Parks, another junior on the defensive line.
Yeah, you're mentioning that DeMarvin Leal, 280-pound junior. He's mighty fast for 280 yards getting through that, 280 pounds getting through that line.
Has a couple of Power 5 offers from the next level of football, so as he enters his senior year next year, he'll have the opportunity to play at the next level. Second down and 13 after the loss of 3. Perez rolling here to the near side. Has a curl route to Callan Farr. That's in and out of the midst of Callan at the 29-yard line. Incomplete, sets the Cougars up at third and long.
Chris Mills back defensively that time for the Rockets, and that one just kind of squirted out of Callan's hands.
Third and 13. You got to think this is 4-down territory if you're Coach Joe Muchigimba. Ball spotted at the 36. You're kind of in no man's land. Too far for a field goal, too short for a punt. So we'll see what we do here on third down. Handoff to Haney up the middle, and he is met immediately at the line of scrimmage. Making the tackle for Judson is Shea Calvin, the outside linebacker. No gain, and fourth down coming.
You know, it's almost hard. We'll mention after this play. Go right ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Cougars are quick to the line. They fake the snap count, so they fake all of us out here. They get a new play here from Coach Kirkland, the offensive coordinator. Barking out orders is Perez. Fake it to Haney, stepping up into a pocket that's collapsing, and Perez is wrapped up once again by Leal, who's just terrorizing this Cougar offensive line. It'll go down for a sack, and Canyon will turn the ball over on downs.
Boy, Leal's got him pumped up. What I was going to mention is it's hard to imagine that this sort of a Rocket defense, what we're looking at right now, yielded over 400 yards to Smithson Valley last week.
Tough up front, just explosive, and having their way up there in the trenches. It's tough for Canyon's offense to get anything going. So they turn the ball over on downs, and Judson gets the ball back 1st and 10 from their own 42. Handoff, McCormick up the middle, slips out of one tackle, but not out of a second. Good tackle there by Fansteel. McCormick gets to the 50-yard line. Gain of 8, setting down 2nd down and 2. Ball at midfield, handoff given to McCormick once again, this time stuffed. What a defensive run stop there by Martin Davis, the middle linebacker.
Oh, good stop that time by the Cougar defense. Martin had a little help from Cole Seeley, who's had a good season. Certainly enjoyed seeing him play on the defensive side of the football this year.
Another 3rd down opportunity for the Cougar defense. Movement along the line and on the offensive line as well. This should be another penalty assessed against Judson, and it is illegal procedure.
So that'll back it up, even a bigger 3rd down play for the Cougars if this defense can hold.
It was 3rd down and 3 on the previous possession, and a holding penalty made it 3rd and 13. This was 3rd and 2, and a false start makes it 3rd and 7. Push Judson back to the 45-yard line. Williams with the ball, rolling out to the right, sets his feet, throws the ball downfield. Ball's caught at the 30-yard line on an out route, and it is made by Kashawn Fisher. The ball comes out at the end, and Roland, if I think we're in college or NFL, they might review that as the ball was going, the player had the ball going down to the floor.
Right.
But they mark it a catch at the 30-yard line. Quick to the line, the Rockets. Play action, Williams has to improvise, rolls to the right, throws it downfield. Ball's caught short of the sticks by Sean Richburg, going to be a gain of 8 down to the 22.
What's happening is the Rocket receivers are just putting that move on just very quick and getting away from the Cougar defensive backfield, which is allowing them just a moment to make those catches.
2nd down and 2, fake the handoff to McCormick. Williams in trouble, trying to dance his way out of it. Might have gotten enough for a 1st down. Needs to get to the 20. Will depend on the spot. A couple of Cougars there in on defensive coverage.
Dallin Wantanami in on the stop that time for Canyon.
Short of the 1st down, 3rd and 1. Handoff Wisdom. No, check that. That is number 1, Jay Miller across the 15. The 10-5 on the left side into the end zone. And it will be a touchdown for the Judson Rockets.
Yeah, the Rockets finally getting that running game going that time.
Jay Miller came into this ball game 61 carries, 271 yards, 4 touchdowns. He'll add to that tally after that 21-yard score. King on for the extra point. Line drive kick is good. 5:54 left to go, opening period. Our new score, Judson 10, Canyon 0. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
5:44 left to go in the 1st quarter, and the Judson Rockets on the scoreboard once again as they found an answer with their running game, their biggest run thus far this evening from the line of scrimmage into the end zone. Extra point good. Rockets on top of Canyon 10-0.
6-play, 58-yard drive for Judson after they forced a turnover on downs defensively. Takes a minute and a half off the clock, and that gives us our score 10-0 with 5:54 left to go in the 1st quarter. King approaches the ball, drives it, knuckleball, bounces at the 20-yard line, and is scooped up by Watanabe coming here the near side. Across the 25-30 before he's met by a couple of Rockets. Number 30, DeAnthony Lewis making initial contact for Judson. So first and 10 Canyon from their own 30.
Now we got to see if this Cougar offense has an answer in that Judson score. The defense has done a good job. Save that in a couple of passes. At least containing the Judson running game. So we'll see if Canyon's got an answer here.
We'll give Watanabe to the 31. So it'll be first and 10 from there. Two receivers to the near side, one to the far. Haney to the right of Perez. Curl route to the near side, caught by Callan Farr. Across the 35 to the 36, maybe a gain of 5 there.
Peeling off the bottom of that pile, that is Chris Mills. We've called that young man's name a couple of times thus far this evening, doing a good job from his defensive secondary position.
Give forward progress of Callan to the 37. It'll be second down and 6. Check that, second down and 4 after the gain of 6. Ball here on the near hash. Callan in the slot to the left. On the outside of him is Lane Young. Haney now to the left of Xavier, and man in motion, that's Callan. Fake it to Callan, give it to Seth up the middle with the head of speed across the 40. Dives forward, going to be close to the first down marker at the 41. Check the spot.
Once again, to Marvin Leal with the stop for Judson, but that a good run for the Canyon Cougar. Canyon's done a great job running the football, thus far this season. See if they can get it done against the stingy Judson team and find some daylight.
And something to keep the clock rolling to shorten this game up a little bit. It is enough for a first down. First and 10 Canyon, moving left to right from the 41. Perez bat to pass, in trouble, heaves it to the Haney, who's out of the backfield as a safety valve. Ball goes incomplete. So it'll be second down and 10. There's an injured Rocket in the backfield.
Yeah, that one almost picked off by Mike Washington from his cornerback position.
Yes, I don't think Seth was looking for that ball. He was definitely the safety valve option there. So it's a good job by Xavier to throw it in a position where he's the only person that could adjust to it and make the catch, even though he wasn't expecting it. And Roland, this Rocket line defensively is so explosive that I think what you have here is a situation where you have 3 or 4 Rockets closing in on Xavier from every angle, and then at the end of it, you think you have 2 Rockets running into each other, and one of them is still down at the 30-yard line.
That might have been the case here.
He's still being attended to. It looks like he is up, so that's good. He'll walk to the far sideline under his own power. That is Kevin Wood, 185-pound junior who leads the team in tackles from his will linebacker position. 84 tackles on the year for Kevin. I'll set out at least this play. Again, previous play was an incomplete pass by Xavier. Stops the clock at 4:25. That'll be second down and 10. Canyon trailing Judson 10-0 with the ball. Moving left to right. Xavier with a new play from the sidelines. Clap of the hands. Fake it to Haney. Slant route to the far side. Caught by Lane Young at the 45-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 4.
And Kenyon Morgan coming over, I believe it's 13. Yeah, Kenyon Morgan coming over to make the stop. But good presence of mind that time by Lane to hold on to the football. He had to have heard footsteps coming. Morgan was right there in his back pocket the whole way.
Nice pitch and catch. On the timing route, sets up third down and 6 for Canyon. Fake it to Haney. Another slant, this time to the near side. Still caught by Callan as he takes a hit by Brandon Hernandez. It's 18-on-18 crime, but it's enough for a Cougar first down. Now into Rocket territory at the 49.
Another very impressive catch because these Rocket defensive secondarymen are playing the Canyon receivers very tight. And right there, just a big hit, but the presence of mind for Callan to hold on to that football and get the Cougars a first down.
Clock runs now 3.5 left in the first quarter. Cougars first and 10. Far in motion from left to right. Hand off to Haney. Tries the right side of the Cougar line. Not a lot doing there. 4 Rockets in on coverage along with Mike Washington leading the charge. No gain on the play.
looked like Rashad Wisdom came over to put a hit on him, as well as Shea Calvin from his outside linebacker position for Judson.
Second down and 10 upcoming for Canyon. Trying to slow down the pace of this ball game a little bit. One receiver in this package, it's to the left. It should be to the right. Handoff to Haney, goes to the left, lowers his shoulder and dives forward to the 45. Gain of 4 by Seth Haney will set up a third and somewhat manageable here.
Kenyon Morgan making the stop, along with Brandon Hernandez once again for the Judson Rockets, but good run that time from Seth.
Need to get to the Rocket 39-yard line on 3rd and 6. Man in motion, Worley from left to right. Slap of the hands from Xavier. See some pre-movement there by the Judson defenses. Xavier now gets a new play from the sideline. Haney moves to the left of Xavier. 2 receivers here to the near side. Ball on the far hash. Fake it to Haney. Back to pass is Xavier. Keeping in the pocket. Throws down the middle of the field looking for Worley. That ball is overthrown and incomplete. Rashad Wisdom in coverage on Owen Worley. The ball sails too high, and it'll be 4th down and 6.
And right there, the Canyon receivers just not getting any separation on that Judson defensive secondary.
Yeah, it seems to be the successful routes have been the quick slants and the curl routes, all timing routes on the outside. Play the field position game here as Jacob Martinez will be into punt, averaging 35 yards a kick and has 14 nailed inside the 20. A high wobbling kick will bounce at the 15 and track inside the 5. Facundo stops it inside the 2. That is how you play field position right there.
And here again, tip of the cap to the special teams. Great job by Fabian Facundo. Does a great job on both sides of the football.
44-yard punt by Jacob Martinez, 0 on the return. The referees will down the ball at the 1-yard line, so 99 yards of field position await Jelon Williams and this Rocket offense. Cougar offense and defense, or check that, offense and special teams, flipping the field here. Williams will take this snap in the G of Cougars in the end zone. Has McCormick to his left. Fake it to McCormick, back to pass. Down the sideline to the right side. Ball is over the shoulder and incomplete. Intended for Sean Richburg. Facundo step for step in coverage. Fabian Facundo will represent the Canyon Cougars in the San Antonio area All-Star game. The lone Cougar to receive such honor. What a asset he is for this Cougar football team.
Absolutely.
Second down and 10 now. Judson from their own 1. Back to pass, Williams, pocket collapsing. He'll step up, keeping his eyes downfield, makes a move at the 5, and is tripped up as he goes forward. What a play by Martin Davis to prevent a bigger gain, but Williams will get down to the 8-yard line on a gain of 7.
That's right. That pressure's been coming from that Cougar, at least front 8, getting him in there.
3rd and 3 for Judson from the far hash. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for Williams, who's back to pass, looks to the far side out of the flat. Ball is caught across the 25, 30-yard line. Rumbling down the field is the H-back Charles Neely, the 200-pound senior. Gets a first down for Judson across the 30 to the 32.
And he was all by himself that time, able to rumble on for a Judson first down.
Quick to the line, the Rockets. 1st and 10, handoff is given to the running back, who makes a man miss at the 35, falls forward across the 40, should be a gain of 9 as flags come out. At the end of the play, Sincere McCormick is the running back on that particular play.
One of the Canyon coaches is saying, yeah, this one's against Judson once again. He's pointing in that direction.
Some hand fighting away from the play. The ball was marked down at the 41, and the scuffle that took place was closer to the 46, 47-yard line. A bit further downfield. We'll see this indication here from the referee. Dead ball personal foul against Canyon is the initial indication, and that player is ejected. And that player is Eric Taylor, I believe. Taylor has his shoulder pad, the jersey just on the inside of his shoulder pad with the shoulder pad exposed. And so whatever happened toward the end of that play The referee caught it and has ejected Eric Taylor, the senior. And Roland, we talked about him in the opening and what an asset he is to this team, a hard player, the heart and soul of that defensive unit. And on senior night, Eric Taylor's football career as a Canyon Cougar has ended.
Sad ending. Sad ending. Yeah, emotional, very fired up young man. But it's been an honor to watch him play.
Really has, and fun to watch as well, as he's just the one that got caught by the referee.
That's it.
Back in play on first down, crow route to the far side. Ball's delivered and caught across the 40 to the 39. Making the grab is 81, Sean Richburg.
Had, of course, Van Steele back defensively to make the stop on the Rocket receiver.
Second down and 5 for Judson. The Cougar 39, moving right to left. Play fake for Williams, now under pressure, runs out to the right side, still trying to evade tacklers, and Watanabe has them shoved out for a sack. What a play by Dallin.
Great job, and hats off to Josh Heiser as well for getting in there and getting the initial pressure to kind of push him to the outside to get Dallin in a good position to run him out of bounds.
It'll be a loss of 6 back to the Cougar 46. Third down and 12, and Roland, this is starting to become the theme of the night. Third and long, can the Cougars get off the field? 25 seconds left in the first quarter. Down 10-0. Williams back to pass, four-man rush. Tackled from behind, it's Watanabe again.
And the ball's on the ground.
The referees say Williams was down before the ball comes out. The Cougars jumped on it for what it's worth. But it'll just go down for the second sack in a row for Dallin Watanabe.
Oh, man, great defensive pursuit that time. Great defensive pressure coming from that front surge of the Canyon Cougar defense.
Sincere McCormick is the punter as the clock continues to run, and that will end our first period of play. After one, it's Judson 10, Canyon 0. We'll step aside when we come back. A Rocket punt and the start of the second quarter. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
We've just thrown a massive renovation on our plate.
This house is indestructible.
Plus, we're trying to get ready for the wedding.
Ta-da!
I don't think we'll have any problems.
We did hit some clay pipe, which I hope isn't the sewer. Welcome to your new life.
All new Property Brothers at Home, Drew's Honeymoon House, November 22nd at 9 on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 578. GVTC, just plain smart.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you, alongside the Bandit, Austin Milam, our spotter statistician, and Bo Wick, our executive producer. Back for the start of the second quarter, Judson Sincere McCormick will be in deep punt and deep receiving for Canyon. Isaiah Rivera standing at his 10-yard line. Snap back to McCormick. The punt is blocked. The Cougars come up the middle, and Zach Fansteel, doing his best Eric Taylor impression, blocks the punt, and the Cougars recover.
That's the first thing I was thinking. This one's for you, Eric. We're going after the punter.
What a response. You go back to the last defensive possession for Canyon. Eric Taylor gets ejected, and how do the Cougars respond defensively? 2 sacks from Dallin Watanabe. And again, you're missing Eric Taylor, who has blocked 2 punts on this year. How do you respond? Fansteel comes up the middle and blocks the third punt of the year for Canyon.
Oh, let's see what this does to that Cougar offense.
First and 10 Canyon at the 44 of Judson. Moving right to left now, the Cougars. Handoff given. It's Colbreth trying to dance his way forward. The Rockets are there. Nathan gets 2 yards to the 42.
Oh, we saw some moves from Nathan Colbreth last week on his way to a 149-yard gain against East Central.
Best game of his career, perhaps the best game of a Cougar running back this year, statistically, splitting times with Seth Haney. He starts this drive for Canyon. Second down and 8. The Cougars taking their time here. Clock continuing to run here at the start of the second quarter. Far in motion from right to left. Lane Young, the receiver, down to the near side. Rolling out to the left. Ball's thrown and knocked at the line. Xavier's ball's deflected and goes incomplete.
I think that was Kevin Wood that time from his linebacker position, getting his hand up and deflecting that ball.
Wood was injured earlier in the game, so good to see him back for the Rockets. Another third down opportunity for the Cougars defensively. They are 1 for 3 on the night. Need to keep this drive alive. Need to get to the Rocket 34 on 3rd down and 8. 2 receivers to the near side. Lane Young on the outside, Callan Farr in the slot. Send Farr in motion left to right. Roll Perez that way. Inside handoff on a draw to Colbreth. Colbreth is going to lose a couple back to the original line of scrimmage. And this drive after the block punt goes nowhere. Ends where it started. 4th and 10 upcoming, and Jacob Martinez, the punter, sent out again.
You know, that was a great call, but that time the defensive lineman, Corey Parks, for Judson just had enough presence of mind to stay with a runner and stop him for no gain. Actually, a loss.
Martinez takes it, quickly puts his right foot into it. Ball's taken by the return man at the 12-yard line, avoids the fair catch signal across the 15 to the 20. Late flag comes in. The Cougars stop him at the 20. We'll check the flag.
And a quick out, and here comes the Cougar defense once again. Offense is going to have to get that ball moving to give them a little bit more breathing time on the sidelines.
Still waiting for the indication from the official. The Washington Bears indicating that this is going to be against Judson. We'll check the flag. Block in the back is the indication, so push the Rockets back. Again, happening after the transition of possession, so the Rockets will keep it. Be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line.
Second quarter score to pass along. It is the East Central Hornets on top of the Wagner Thunderbirds, 2-0. Or correction, it's 6-2 now. Wagner just in 6-2. Wagner on top of East Central.
Good world. It's one of the World Series scores, I believe, as well. Handoff up the middle on 1st down. Nothing's doing there. The Cougars are there to bottle it up and drive the running back. I believe that was, well, I don't know who ran it. The number 1, Jay Miller.
Miller, right, running the football. Good pursuit from the Cougar defense once again.
Miller with a 21-yard touchdown already tonight. On 2nd down and 10, Williams back to pass. Throws the ball over the middle on the seam route. Is incomplete, intended for Kashawn Fisher, who had a step on Vance McKay, but the ball goes incomplete. Another 3rd and long here for Judson. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
You can almost guarantee this will be a pass. 101 yards thus far on the night passing for Judson.
Cougars 4 for 6 on 3rd down. Have a screen set up to the far side. Ball's delivered and caught across the 25-30. Still on his feet down the sideline is McCormick across the 40-45, now into Cougar territory. Finally shoved out of bounds, and a late flag comes in. We'll see what that flag is. They mark McCormick out at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, McKay and Cooper home back there defensively for Canyon.
Into Cougar territory. I think this is going to be a late hit out of bounds. And a real shame. You know, I have sympathy for some of the players when you're in this situation, Roland. You just see a guy down the field tiptoeing the sidelines. You don't know when he's going to step out of bounds. He's definitely crafty enough to keep his balance and stay in. And all of a sudden, he could, at the last second, take a step out of bounds, and you're going full speed. Tough to stop yourself. And then something like this happens, you get called for a late hit.
And that's rough. Yeah, the late hit's going to come. They're going to mark this off after the catch, so Judson's going to have the ball deep in Canyon territory.
Spot it inside the red zone at the 18. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far on 1st and 10. Williams has the ball, fakes it to McCormick, slings it to the near sideline. That play is caught by Fisher, trying to spin out of his tackle at the 10 and shoved out of bounds by McKay. Gets down to the 11-yard line, and it's going to be, the 6-yard line. It's going to be enough for a 1st down. First and goal, Judson. Ball at the Cougar 6. Ball on the near hash. 2 receivers to the far sideline, 1 to the near. Near side receiver is Keith Jefferson. They send him in motion right to left. They give it to Jefferson, trying to turn the corner. The Cougars are there to string it out. dives upfield, though, and dives for the pylon, and he's in. Keith Jefferson scores for Judson on a 6-yard end around. I thought the Cougars were there, Roland.
I thought they had him that time, but I guess just a great effort that time from Jefferson to reach for that pylon. He apparently got the ball over, and the Rockets are on the scoreboard once again.
Second and third effort got Jefferson into the corner, and Shane King will be on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Hudson. Kick on the way, and King's extra point is good. 9:27 left to go in the second quarter, and Judson has extended their lead. It's Judson 17, Canyon 0. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
How can 11 girls go missing? No suspect was identified. There's an inmate. He has confessed to murdering 11 girls, but he's retracted his confessions. Who is this guy?
Ed, what happened?
Watch A&E, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 558. GVTC, just plain smart.
Another touchdown drive for Judson that the Cougars had the opportunity to get off the field on a 3rd and long, but Judson converts and then uses a personal foul penalty to improve their field position and ultimately ends the drive with a 6-yard touchdown run by Keith Jefferson on an end around. It's a 5-play, 80-yard drive that takes a minute off the clock. Judson now has a 17-0 lead with 9:27 left to go before the half.
I understand frustrations, but when they put points on the board for the opposition, not too good of a thing.
King with the kickoff sends this one high, spinning. Facundo takes it at the 6, coming to the near side, gets a good block at the 25, 30, still on his feet down the sidelines, pushed out of bounds as he crosses the 40. He's going to be shy of the 45. Another good return for the Cougars on a kickoff return, and a short field upcoming for Canyon.
Good field position for the Cougars now. That Cougar offense has to do something to put some points on the board to keep them in this ball game.
Cougars playing without Eric Taylor tonight, who was ejected on a defensive possession 2 possessions ago. Also playing in the first half without Jacob Solbrig, who was ejected versus East Central, the starting right tackle. So he is still serving that suspension and will get in as the game goes on. So you're missing that key component on the Cougar offensive line. 1st and 10 for Canyon, and we have a timeout here taken by the Judson Rockets with 9:19 left to go before the break. And Roland, here we are. You're in your final game at senior night. As we just mentioned, you're playing now without 2 of your key players on both sides of the ball, your right tackle and Jacob Solbrig. But I think we'll see him later on tonight, and now you're minus your starting defensive end, Eric Taylor.
Just as I said, frustration can really wreak havoc, and that's exactly what it's done for Canyon this evening. And you can't help but get frustrated. I mean, this is an emotional game to begin with.
My coach at the University of Texas was a guy by the name of Mike Tollison. We call him Tolly for short. And he was also the coach of the defensive line. And of course, there's a lot of battles going in the trenches between the offensive and defensive line. And I always remember him telling our defensive line unit, remember, they always catch the second guy.
That's it.
So make sure you're the first.
Absolutely. No, that's true. A lot of truth in that.
So we don't know what happened really between Eric Taylor and the offensive player he was going up against. But the referees caught Eric, and so they'll sit him out for the rest of the game. Perez comes to the line here as play's about to resume. 1st and 10 for Canyon at their own 44. Handoff given to Haney, puts a head down, tries the right side of the Cougar line across the 45 to the 48. It's a gain of 4 on 1st down.
Jake Calvin from his outside linebacker position over to make the stop that time for the Rockets.
Gain of 4. Cougars slowing down their pace offensively. Everybody up to the line and staring here to the near sideline. Gets a play from Coach Kirkland, the offensive coordinator. One receiver to the left, one to the right. Handoff to Haney, who lowers his head down, and it's like he runs into a brick wall, just nowhere to go. Stopped immediately. Colton Grunwald making the initial contact for Judson, amongst others.
That's right. Kevin Wood also to help with his defensive pursuit efforts there for Judson.
It'll be a gain of 1 officially as they'll spot Haney a forward progress to the 49, just shy of midfield. Still in Cougar territory, Canyon working right to left. They'll stay in this formation. Owen Worley, the H-back, handoff to Haney, lowers his head once again, gets into Rocket territory, but just across the 50 to the 49, and it'll be 4th down once again.
Kevin Wood over with the stop. One thing you say about this Rocket defense is they're quick to react. They really are. Haney has a good first step, but the quickness of this Judson defense is very impressive.
You can just see when the hole's there, I think everybody sees it, and by the time Haney reacts and commits to it, and by the way, it doesn't take that long for him to do that, but by the time that happens, the hole just closes. On 4th and 3, Martinez has it, sends this ball off the right foot. Fair catch is caught by Wisdom inside the 15, so another punt by Martinez down inside the 20. No return on this one. They'll spot it at the 14.
A couple other scores, or one other score actually, to pass along here from district play tonight as we close the curtain on the regular season. As we were mentioning, Wagner leads East Central 6-2. That's the second quarter score. And from just down the road in Spring Branch, it's the Smithson Valley Rangers and the New Braunfels Unicorns, all tied at 7 with 4:28 left to go before halftime.
Smithson Valley wins that ball game. They are district champions and District 27 6A, and that game on our sister network, the Rangers Network. 1st and 10 for Judson here at their own 14-yard line. Williams back to pass. The Cougars again break the pocket. Williams steps up, is wrapped up into the arms of 36, Cole Seeley. Seeley brings him down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, Williams very elusive, but it seems like he's not, maybe still hurting from that injury, not putting the ball away and running.
2nd down and a 7. Williams on a play action, slings it to the near sideline on a screen. The receiver has it. It's Hudson across the 40, now into Cougar territory, down the sidelines. Did he step out? The Cougar coaching staff say he did. Hudson still on his feet inside the 10 and inside the 5 before Vance McKay gets him. The whole Cougar offensive coaching staff is standing at the 29-yard line saying this is where he stepped out, but the official did not see it.
And that's the Cougar coaching staff is correct. Cooper Holm grabbed him right around the 28-yard line is where he stepped out of bounds.
That's where I was going to end the call, and I was surprised that no referee came in. Hudson, though, you got to play to the whistle. Credit to him for continuing his run. It's a gain of 80 down to the Cougar 3. Rockets back up to the line. Wisdom behind Williams. Handoff to Wisdom, lowers his shoulder and powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Judson. 3 yards for Rashad Wisdom.
Well, more points off a bad break for Canyon.
King on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Hudson. It's a fake. Hudson will pick it up and run to the far pylon. McKay's there, but Hudson will trot into the end zone, so the 2-point conversion is good for a Judson. 6:47 left to go before the half, and Judson extends their lead. Our new score, the Judson 25, Canyon 0. We'll step aside. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration, Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
6:47 left to go before halftime. The Rockets on the board once again. Another touchdown, 2-point conversion to extend their lead out to 25-0 over the Canyon Cougars in this final regular season game of 2017.
The Cougars have had good field position on their kickoff return units, whether it's Facundo or Watanabe returning, just unable to turn it into anything of substance offensively. Their drive chart looks like this: turnover on downs, punt, punt, and punt. So Cougars are looking to have the ball for the 5th time here in this ball game. It's a high-spinning short kick that will bounce at the 20-yard line. Watanabe takes it and comes up to the 25 before being met by a rocket at the 27. And what might be one of the worst field positions for Canyon in this ball game, they'll take over 1st and 10 from that spot.
You know, we're still halfway through the second quarter almost. You just got to keep your head in the game, got to keep your head up, and just take it play after play, just one play at a time. Try to put some points on that scoreboard, and you can still get back in this ball game.
How do you eat an elephant, Roland? Just one bite
one
at a time.
bite at a time, by gosh.
That old cliche. Definitely true. Ball on the far hash, 1st and 10 from the 27. Trips receivers here to the near side. The lone back is Colbreth to the right of Perez. Some miscommunication between Perez and the coaching staff. New play comes in with 3 on the play clock, and Canyon is just going to have to take a timeout here. 6:43 left to go before the break. Judson on top, 25-0. And, you know, I mentioned this in the opening. This is a Judson Rocket program, Roland, a traditional power, not only in the greater San Antonio area, but in the state of Texas. 6-time your state champions in Texas high school football. And one of the things that's just impressive to me, Roland, 18 times in that program history they have come out as region champions and played in the state Final Four. They are a marker of excellence in the greater San Antonio area.
You know, it's a tradition. It really is. And for many of the graduates, the pride of being a Judson Rocket, it shows in their day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. This is the 42nd straight year that Judson has had a winning football season. 81 mark coming into tonight's ball game. 1st and 10 for Canyon out of the timeout. Handoff is given. Is that Colbreth across the 35? Yes, it is. Across the 40 to the 41. Gain of about 14 and a Cougar 1st down.
There you go. Colbreth might be getting things going here.
At the Cougar 41-yard line, another play coming in. Trips receivers here to the near side. It's going to be Lane Young on the outside, far in the middle, Gonzalez in the slot. Actually, they'll keep a bunch formation here on the near side. Colbreth to the left, fake it to him. Pass is delivered to Gonzalez, who spins out of a tackle across the 45 to the 47, shy of midfield. It's a good gain, though, of about 6 on 1st down.
Shake Calvin over to make the final stop that time for the Rocket defense.
2nd down and 6 for Canyon. The ball resting just below the interlocking CC logo at midfield at the 47-yard line. Still in Cougar territory. Now 5.5 approaching left in the second quarter. Colbreth to the right of Perez, 2 receivers either way. Slap of the hands for Xavier with the pump fake, now delivers to Farr. That ball is deflected before it gets to him. Brandon Hernandez in on the defensive play for Judson.
And I tell you what, Hernandez read Xavier's eyes that time. He was coming right across. Xavier was getting rid of the football. He knew where it was going.
Xavier took a hit at the end of that play, trying to gather himself here. So he'll come to the sideline to get the play. Actually, I think he's going to sit this play out.
Yeah, it looks like Facundo's going to go under, at least play quarterback, from shotgun.
Facundo will take this snap. It'll be a design quarterback keep to the right side. Shakes a tackle at the 45, but the Rockets are there. Just too much speed to try to get to the outside. Facundo loses 2 on 3rd down. And we'll set up another 4th down for Canyon and another punt opportunity for Jacob Martinez. It's limiting your playbook when you throw Fabian in that situation, though it's not an indictment on Fabian. It's just the reality of throwing in your backup quarterback on a 3rd and short. Fabian unable to turn the corner, and it's 4th down. Martinez with it. Rockets bring pressure, but Martinez sends this one high. Another fair catch is taken by Wisdom at the 24-yard line. So no return there on a good punt by Jacob Martinez. 23 on the punt, 0 on the return. Perez still getting some attention here on the near sideline by some of the trainers.
Yeah, we're noticing that one of the trainers was attending to him moments ago. Certainly hope he's okay and can get back into the ball game.
First and 10, Judson moving right to left. Ball at the Rocket 24. Jelon Williams is in the backfield. Throws the ball down the near sideline. It is caught by a receiver at the 40-yard line. That is Keith Jefferson, who's flung forward to the 43. A big gain on first down for Judson.
Yeah, Martin Davis over to make the stop that time for Canyon, but Jefferson all by himself. Well-placed ball by the quarterback, Williams.
Not a lot of zip on the ball. Again, Williams playing with a knee injury that kept him out of last week's ball game versus Smithson Valley. On first down, the pocket collapses. He'll dump it off on a crossing route. Ball is caught by a receiver. That is Fisher across the 45. Should be a gain of about 4. The Cougars were there immediately.
Tried another nice one-handed catch by a Judson receiver to haul that in.
Second down and 6 for Judson. Just under 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Holding on to a 25-0 lead. Ball on the far hash. Handoff is given. It's McCormick, the left side, now into the Cougar side of the field and into the Cougar secondary. Runs into Fansteel, but not before McCormick gets to the 42 and another Rocket first down.
You know, early on, the Cougar defense was containing that Judson Rocket running, that rushing attack. Now it seems that the Rockets have found a few holes.
Williams bat to pass. Out route, ball's caught by Fisher. Ball comes out here at the end. The Cougars were fighting for it. We'll see if they give it to Canyon or not. The ball came out of bounds. Fighting for it to the end was Vance McKay. The ball comes out but goes out of bounds. So Judson will retain possession, and they'll spot it inside the 39. Good effort nonetheless by Vance. And now some movement. It'll be, I think, against Judson here on that movement on both sides of the line.
Well, this should be against Judson.
And they do mark it back. So 5 yards marked off against Judson.
Yeah, from our vantage point, I guess it looked like the far side of that line, the guard got in his stance and then got up.
New line of scrimmage is the 44-yard line into Cougar territory. Williams, bat to pass once again. Clean pocket, steps up in it, delivers the ball downfield. Fisher with an over-the-shoulder catch at the 5, gets into the end zone, touchdown Judson.
And that's how you do it on the playground, just like that. I mean, it's he had plenty of time to throw the ball, and the receiver had enough time just to separate from the defender.
A 44-yard touchdown pass to Keyshawn Fisher. And Judson continuing their dominance in tonight's ball game. King on to attempt another extra point. Kick up. And that ball is good. 3 minutes, 6 seconds before the half. Judson continues to extend their lead. It's Judson 32, Canyon 0. You're listening to Cougar Football on the Cougar Network.
What's the plan?
What I'm asking you to do is dangerous. Is it really in your head?
I need Rhodes gone.
I can't be seen with you.
Showtime, folks. Keep them coming.
.306 left to go before halftime. The Rockets on the board once again. They strike on a 44-yard touchdown pass.
5-play drive, covers 76 yards, a minute and a half off the clock. And too much size and too much speed on the other side of the football, Roland. That's just kind of the name of the game.
That's the way it is. 318 yards thus far passing the football for Judson.
High spinning kick by King goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Another illegal procedure penalty will be assessed against Judson, and decent field position upcoming for the young junior quarterback Xavier Perez. We've seen him grow up this year. Roland really take ownership of this offense under new offensive coordinator Trenton Kirkland, just unable to do what they want to do with the football to start this ball game. Again, playing without Jacob Solbrick for the beginning of this ball game. You're starting right tackle for the year, and that doesn't help things when you're going up against a hounding defense.
Certainly not, but yes, a big maturing, I guess you can say, from Xavier and from the offense in general, from this whole team. I mean, we've seen it this season. Just not to lose your composure in the heat of this evening.
Handoff on first down is given to Haney. He's trying the right side. It's hard running, just nowhere to go. Into the arms of a defensive lineman. Maybe half a yard. It'll be second down and long.
Yeah, to Marvin Leal. How many times have we talked about that young man this evening? Just clogging up the middle and making the stop that time for Judson.
Ball at the 35. Canyon content with letting some of this clock run down. 2.5 left before the half. Near side receivers are David Gonzalez and Lane Young. Gonzalez right behind him. Stacked receivers both either way. Fake the handoff. Pass it to Gonzalez. Makes a man miss at the 35. Getting upfield across the 40. Should have enough for a Cougar first down, and he does at the Cougar 45-yard line.
Good move that time by Gonzalez to shake his first defender. Shake Calvin came over to make the stop for Judson. But they're going to move the chains and give the Cougars a first down.
Second grab of the night for Gonzalez. Came into this ball game with 3 catches for 12 yards. So the senior making it count here on seniors night at Cougar Stadium. First and 10 for Canyon. Now under 2 minutes before the half. 2 receivers either way. Haney to the right of Perez. Fake it to Haney. Crow route far side. Caught by Farr. Now into Rocket territory. Spins forward on a gain of 8 to the 47.
Those short passes have seemed to work all season long, as we saw for Canyon.
Back to the line, the Cougars. Movement on the defensive side of the football for Judson, but Canyon will get a new play in from the coaching staff. Xavier barking out orders, retreats back to the shotgun. Quick pass to Gonzalez, catches it, and is immediately tackled by Hernandez. It's going to get to the 42-yard line, enough for a Cougar first down.
Hernandez, Colton Greenwald also came over to help there defensively for the Judson Rockets. Those short passes taking it just a little at a time.
From the 42, another one. It's a crow route to the far side. 1-2 game between Hernandez and Farr. Farr takes it to the 36-yard line, and it's a good gain on first down. Cougars back to the line. Back to pass again, coming near side to Gonzalez. Again in coverage is Hernandez, but this ball is incomplete, so the Cougars try to go up tempo there. Might have taken themselves just a little bit off rhythm. You've seen Callan catch it to the right and Gonzalez catch it to the left. And that's done a good job of getting the Cougars deep into, well, it's about as deep as they've gotten into Rocket territory. Ball spotted at the 36. 3rd and 4 for Canyon. Can they convert here? Out of the gun. Fake it to Haney. Back to pass is Perez. Keeps his eyes downfield. Will pass it to Haney out of the backfield. Ball's deflected, goes up, and falls down to the ground. So the Cougars avoid disaster as that ball there hung up. Gabriel Jellison is in coverage there for Canyon. It'll go incomplete and 4th down upcoming.
And if that one just wasn't a little bit too tall, the receiver two things could have happened. He either could have caught the football or Judson could have possibly been called for interference.
4th and 4 for Canyon. Sten Gonzalez in motion from left to right. Roll Perez that way, throws it to Gonzalez, and that ball is incomplete. Hernandez and Gonzalez going one-on-one throughout that drive, and Hernandez gets the last laugh, deflecting it at the last second.
Yeah, Gonzalez just didn't turn around. Maybe a miscue on the play that time because Gonzalez just didn't turn back and look for the football.
Turn the ball over on downs for the second time tonight for Canyon. Bookends their drives here in the first half. 47 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Hopefully Judson is just content on kneeling on this and getting into the locker room. New quarterback for Judson, it's Bailey Davis, the young sophomore, rolling out to the left. Flag comes in, ball's delivered. Shy of midfield, caught, now into Cougar territory. Facundo and Seeley in on the tackle. We'll check the flag as Sean Richburg makes the catch on the far sideline.
Holding's the indication this is against the Rockets, so that's going to back it up.
Amaria Bailey Davis is the sophomore quarterback at 180 pounds, 6'2", only a sophomore. Roland had a good game last week versus Smithson Valley in a losing effort. 8 of 17, 204 yards passing, a touchdown, and an interception. So you've had Jelon Williams as a starter for 4 years, as Jelon started as a freshman, and as he exits, you get another young quarterback in there, a young sophomore.
Get him some experience to continue that Judson Rocket tradition.
Embarrassment of riches over there at Judson High School. 1st and 20 with 38 seconds left before the break. Handoff is a given to Jay Miller on the far sideline. Little counter play across the 30, still running hard. Past the original line of scrimmage up to the 40 and will go out of bounds at the 42. It's a big gain of about 17 on, and check that, it's give him 15 on 1st and 20. 2nd down and 5. Bailey Davis bat to pass, looking at the far sideline. Facundo's there, makes the interception at the 20-yard line. Going back the other way is Fabian, breaks out of a tackle at the 39. Still on his feet, gets a good block by Cooper Holmes into Rocket territory. And finally, he will just have to go down as Jay Miller comes in to make the tackle. Scrum here at the last second on the far side of the field. Antonio DeLeon is in a little bit of a tussle match with one of the Rocket linemen. 52, Colby Harris, has his helmet off, so we'll check the indication. The Cougars the half is ended. There's no time left on the clock. The Cougar coaching staff instructing every Cougar to run into the locker room. We'll keep it here for the time being. This is the end of the first half with the score 32-0. In fact, the referees now has told both teams to stay on the field. We'll see.
I guess they're going to stay on until the call is made, but Judson is heading to the locker room right now.
Sean McCullough tells his team to exit the field and get into the locker room. Coach Joe Muchigimba is holding on to his horses here on the near sideline. Dead ball, personal foul, the indication against Canyon, and a dead ball personal foul against Judson. Those offset, and both players have been ejected from the ball games. That's Antonio DeLeon and Colby Harris. DeLeon, the outside linebacker, Harris, the left tackle. Coach Muchigimba and McAuliffe are both getting conversations here from the officials.
You know, I've got to tell you, in the many, many years I have done this, I don't think I've seen as many ejections in high school football games as I have, at least over the last couple of games. It seems like things getting quite a bit more heated.
Boos starting to shower down here on Cougar Stadium as the referees are just trying to short it out with the coaching staffs. Coach Muchigimba still on the field at the 35. And Coach McAuliffe on the far sideline at the 40, still talking with the referees. But, Roland, you're right. I don't think I've covered high school football now in my 11th season. I can't remember the last time I've seen a player ejected. And we had Jacob Solbrick last week versus East Central. And now the third player of the game has been ejected. And we will end here the first half. Our score at the break, it's Judson 32, Canyon 0. Halftime coverage continues from Cougar Stadium on the Cougars Network.
We help mutants endangered. You're with us now.
If you missed an episode of The Gifted, watch anytime. It's the show critics are calling chills-inducing. Promises to be one of the best Marvel TV series.
These people need help.
The Gifted is all new Monday on Fox, or watch anytime on demand or Fox Now.
And now, Canyon High School proudly presents the 2017 edition of the 14-time national champion Canyon High School Aristocats, along with their special guests. The Aristocats are under the direction of Taylor Goodman and assisted by Kerry Brown. The social officers for the Aristocats are Cassandra Boulabasis, Ava Ferguson, and Aubrey Campbell. And the head social officer is Cassidy Franz. The dance officers are Junior Lieutenants Kelsey Gomez and Grace Warren. Senior Lieutenants Bailey Brooke, Shelby McGath, and Madison Nolan. First Lieutenant is Talia Lopez. The Aristocat Captain is Alyssa LeBron. The Aristocat of the Week is Leah Gonzalez. And the Arista Bob of the Week is Rick Riccatelli. Now sit back and relax as the Aristocats and their special guests perform a Bob and Sue routine to Born to Be Wild. Those Aristocats on the Arista Bob. Still an extra hand, folks. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight is band night. And at this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize the graduating seniors and parents of the Canyon Cougar Band, Color Guard, and Aristocats.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
I'm Jaime Buentello, produce buyer for HEB. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
Half left to play before it is all booked up here and put in the history books for the 2017 version of the Canyon Cougars. So Watanabe in deep receiving along with Facundo down at the 10-yard line. Shane King approaches the football. It's a short end-over-end high kick that's taken by Rivera at the 25. On the near sideline, gets to the 30 before being brought down by A.J. Garza. And Roland tells you how good this Cougar return unit has been. Judson has elected to take both Watanabe and Facundo out of this ball game by kicking it high and short.
You know, they have had stellar showing on the special team all season long, and certainly hope they get some recognition, not just district-wide, but citywide for their efforts.
Jacob Solbrigg still not playing. He does not start the second half. Perez is out of the shotgun. Quick crow route to Callan Fars, caught at the 35. Little hitch route, good for 5.
And I tell you what, his defender, who was Brandon Hernandez, was all over him. I mean, it seemed like he had his hands on him even before he caught the football. Of course, we're up here at this vantage point, can't see it from there, but that's just how tight the Judson secondary has played the Canyon receivers this evening.
Just underway here in the third quarter. Canyon trailing 32-0 with the ball on 2nd down and 5. Worley in motion, left to right. Fake the handoff, go to the far sideline. Pass is caught, but nowhere to go for Callan. Late flag comes in. Callan driven all the way back to the 20-yard line and shoved late. This should be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Judson and give Canyon a first down.
That's true. That play looked like it was set up to work, but as quick and as big as that Judson defense is, they came over and clogged up the hole quickly. Callan just didn't have anywhere to go but backwards, unfortunately, that time.
That is the indication. It's a personal foul penalty that will move the ball 15 yards to the midfield marker. Ball resting on the far hash atop the interlocking CC logo. First down for Canyon, knocking on Rocket territory. Send a man in motion. It's Haney out of the backfield. Fake it to him. Come back on a beautiful screen to Callan Farr across the 40 with room. Now across the 31 man to beat. Does he have the angle on him? Yes, he does. Inside the 10 to the 5. Pushed out of bounds by number 13 for for Judson, Kenyon Morgan. Big gain there for Callan on the wide receiver screen.
Yeah, the short stuff has been working, and that time Callan just had an avenue to get free.
Gain of 45 inside the 10 to the 5. Jumbo formation, handoff, Haney, right side. He is picked up and body slammed to the ground by Demarion Leal once again. And my goodness, what a physical tackle.
And, you know, Leal out there, as you look at the Judson defense, who is rather large themselves, he's bigger than all of them at 280 pounds and fast.
Haney weighs 195 pounds, and he was tossed like a rag doll. Give it back to Haney, who's trying to keep his feet turning on the right side, moves the pile, but is going to be shy of the goal line to the 1. Rocket down on the field at the end of the play. That's one of the defensive tackles. I believe that's Waylon Henry, the nose guard, 280-pound senior.
So, yeah, there's another defensive defenseman that time for Judson. Waylon Henry, as you're mentioning, a defensive lineman, actually, 280 pounds. Same size as Leal that we're talking about.
Canyon has their jumbo package in. Kyle Collier, we saw this last week versus East Central, and Josh Heiser, both defensive players, are in as blocking fullbacks. We have this Judson player still down at the goal line as both teams have retreated to their sidelines. 10:21 left in the third quarter. Judson on top 32-0. Canyon driving to start this third quarter. Henry able to sit up, get up, and walk off under his own power. So that's a good sign for Judson. We mentioned this jumbo package. Creative under offensive coordinator Trenton Kirkland, utilizing beef on your defensive side to come in and block. Anthony Sevaboda also in there. Haney to the right side of Xavier. Diamond look for Canyon with Collier to the left and Heiser to the right of Perez. Handoff. Haney, right side, diving for the end zone. He got it. Touchdown, Canyon.
And that time, sometimes that's what you need. You need beef on beef out there, and bringing in the likes of Svoboda and Heiser there for blocking purposes. Certainly created a hole just enough to get the Cougars into the end zone with 10:13 left to go in the third quarter.
Martinez on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Facundo. Snap back, kick on the way, and that kick is good. 10:13 left to go in the third. Canyon responds. Judson 32, Canyon 7. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
I want to introduce you to HDNet Movies. They're a group of folks that are out there who decided that it might be interesting to understand what the Western was. What we miss today in this business, more than anything else, is Westerns. I'm Bruce Dern, and I'm hosting the Cowboy Collection on HDNet Movies.
GVTC, just plain smart.
Opening drive, third quarter, 10:13 left to go in the third, as a matter of fact, and the Canyon Cougars march it down into the end zone, highlighted by a huge pass play to Callan Farr to get him set up near the end zone. Touchdown, the score now 32-7, Judson on top of Canyon.
5 plays, 70-yard drive for the Cougars to start the third quarter. Takes a minute 42 off the clock. And Jacob Martinez has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. Kicking right to left, Rashad Wisdom, Marcus Harmon, and deep receiving. It's a high, short kick taken by an up man who drops the ball at the 33. Able to get back on it is Marcus Harmon. And Judson will take over 1st and 10 to start the third quarter on their first opening possession. Oh, the ball with decent field position. I believe the night is over for Jalon Williams. On the last possession for Judson at quarterback, Amaria Bailey Davis, the sophomore, was in, threw an interception to end the first half of play. Fabian Facundo on the receiving end. And it is Bailey Davis who comes out. 180-pound sophomore quarterback. Fakes the handoff, keeps it coming near side across the 45 into Cougar territory. Quickly now across the 30. Does he have enough running room? McKay has him and pushes him out of bounds. Inside the 10 to the 7-yard line, and Vance at the end of that goes down to the floor.
Not quite sure what might have happened there to McKay. He might have twisted his ankle, it looks like.
Gets up and has no pressure whatsoever on that left leg. The training staff comes in to check on him. Checking into the ball game, Mason Coons at free safety for Canyon. Slide Zach over to the strong safety. McKay, a junior on this ball club, played hard and strong in that secondary for Canyon. 1st and 10, Judson at the 7. Handoff is given up the middle, and I think the ball might have come out. It's Michael Wright.
And that's what they're indicating.
And Michael Wright puts the ball on the ground, and Canyon turns it over. Excellent play by this Cougar defense. They allow the big play, they get down, and a botched snap has the ball turned over.
But if you notice at the handoff, all kind of hands and bodies of the Canyon Cougars just started coming in to close up that hole. And one of those hands, I'm sure, got in there and jarred that ball loose.
Second turnover of the night. Check that by Judson. That's now 2 straight. As Canyon got an interception to close out the first half, they get a fumble to start the second. 1st and 10, moving right to left. Ball at their own 7. Xavier out of the gun, handed to Colbreth, dives up the middle, little gain there, maybe to the 9, gain of 2.
Tough yards running that football in the middle of that defensive line over to make the stop. Samari Crane from his defensive line position.
We saw working the outside edges with Callan Farr and David Gonzalez work for Canyon in the first half. Picked up a little bit, nice wide receiver screen for 45 yards. Set up the 1-yard scoring drive by Seth Haney. On 2nd down and 8, sends Farr in motion left to right. Worked that side of the field. Ball delivered too far across the 15-yard line. Going to be pushed out. Should have enough for a first down, and he does at the 19.
Here we go again. The quick passes have been working. Move Farr in motion to the far side of the field from our vantage point. Came up with that. Moved the chains. It's another first down for the Cougars.
Actually spotted to the 18. Still enough for a first down. Perez fake it to Colbreth. Wide receiver screen is deflected at the line before anything could develop, intended for Callan Farr, and the pass was deflected by the defensive lineman. 32, Corey Parks, the 230-pound junior with a deflection.
You know, we're raving about some of those Judson offensive numbers. Get this, 8 catches for Callan Farr, 121 yards on the night.
Young sophomore will be back with Xavier Perez next year for Canyon. Handoff, Colbreth up the middle, nothing there. Stuffed at the line again, it's Parks. Check that, that's not Parks. It's 33 instead of 32. That's Samari Crane, the nose guard. Crane in for the injured Waylon Henry, who left on the last drive for Judson, taking up that nose guard position. On 3rd down and 9, Perez bat to pass, another screen set up, ball's tipped, and Crane has intercepted the football. Samari Crane in defensively as there's flags out. They're going to get an unsportsmanlike penalty on the far side. Corey Parks, after he made the deflection on the screen, the interception was made, and Parks takes off his helmet to celebrate. And that, of course, is an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, you know, something I think to be said to the old adage, act like you've been here before. You know, that's a little much, and it's going to cost him in yards. Yeah, the score is obvious on the scoreboard, but you do that postseason, another team's going to get you.
Mark off 15 from the 15. It should be 1st and 10 Judson from the 30. We just got a scare here in the press box. They have that airsoft gun that throws those plastic footballs, and they had one reach here in the press box. I'm alert now, I'll tell you that. On 1st and 10 from the 30, Bailey Davis back to pass, near corner of the end zone, ball up and caught. It's Keith Jefferson hauling it in for Judson, and just like that, they strike from 30 yards out. Rolling any hope of a comeback, I think it's thrashed right there. It's a quick strike to Keith Jefferson.
And they did it quickly. And, you know, you credit the Rocket defense getting in, pressuring Xavier. And, of course, he's not able to get it over those outstretched arms of the Rocket defenders, caused the interception, set that play up.
King on for the extra point, and that is good. 8:24 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Judson takes an interception and turns it into a touchdown. Our new score, Judson 39, Canyon 7. You're listening to Cougar Football on the Cougars Network.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration, Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
8:24 left to go, 3rd quarter. The Judson Rockets on the board once again following a turnover. Rockets intercept quarterback Xavier Bettis. Matter of fact, Samari Crane coming up with the interception. setting up for first down, and beautiful pass that time by a sophomore, Amaria Bailey Davis, into the end zone. Rockets up their lead.
Short kickoff taken by Rivera at the 33, comes to the near sideline and corkscrewed into the ground by DeAnthony Lewis. 1st and 10 Canyon from the 38, 8:16 left to go, third quarter. Canyon trailing after a one-play touchdown drive by Judson. Again, 30-yard touchdown pass to Keith Jefferson. That's Jefferson's second touchdown of the night. He has a 6-yard running touchdown to his credit back in the second quarter. This one, nice pass to the near corner of the end zone, gets in for Judson. 1st and 10 Canyon, moving right to left on their own 39. Haney to the right of Perez, sends Chisel in motion. They give it to him, trying to turn the corner, and does at the 40. Across the 45 before being brought down shy of the first down marker. Gain of 9 there by Marcel Chisel.
Man, nice first step. When he got that, the Jets turned on. Good speed from Chisel.
3 carries last week versus East Central for 16 yards for the 5'10", 165-pound senior. Getting some work here on Senior Day. Haney now to the left of Perez. Fake it to him. Perez will keep. Rolling up the middle, still on his feet, trying to fight his way forward. This is going to come down to the spot as to whether or not he has enough for a first down. Needs to get to the 49, and I think he's going to be about half a yard short to be third and just that much.
That might have been a miscommunication there. It seemed like the ball was coming out of Xavier's hands, like he intended to hand it off to his running back, but good presence of mind by the Canyon quarterback to hold on to the football and move the football forward.
I'm with you, Roland. It didn't look like your conventional zone read. Hand off to Haney on 3rd and short, lowers the shoulders. He tries the left side of center. Should have enough as he falls forward on the last effort. Again, it's just going to come down to the spot. And he does have it. First down Canyon at the 49.
It's good to see that Cougar offense moving the football.
Knocking on the door of Rocket territory, just shy of midfield. 6:40 left to go in this ball in the third quarter, Judson on top, 39-7. Canyon with the ball and moving. Send far in motion, give it to him on end around, and there's nowhere to go for him. Tripped up in the backfield. Shea Calvin once again. Roland, we've called his name a lot. Another tackle for loss to his credit.
Absolutely good heads-up play, pursuit, quickness to stop Callan Farr, and big loss that time for the Cougars. That's going to drive them back to the 43-yard line. They're on 43.
The loss of 6, second down and 16. Need to get to the Rocket 41 for a first down. Still in Cougar territory here. Trips receivers to the near sideline. Ball on the near hash. Fake it to Haney. Another wide receiver screen set up. In and out of the hands of Lane Young. Falls to the ground. A Rocket was near, almost intercepted, but it'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that was Christian Guyona from his cornerback position. He was here again, just all over those Cougar wide receivers and flankers.
Guyona had an interception last week versus the Rangers and almost got his second of the year. But the ball goes incomplete, 3rd and 17 for Canyon. Man in motion far from right to left. Fake it to him. Bat to pass. Perez down the seam into triple coverage. That ball is intercepted at the 32-yard line, making the play for Judson, Chris Mills.
Yeah, he had Lane Young, but he was throwing into triple coverage. And here again, it's like the Cougar defenders just haven't been able to shake that Judson secondary. They're everywhere. They're tenacious and they're fast.
Second straight turnover for Canyon after starting the third quarter with a touchdown drive, a 1-yard touchdown run for Seth Haney. 2 straight interceptions for Xavier Perez. That now gives him 5 interceptions on the year to go against 4 touchdowns. First and 10 Judson from their own 33. Bailey Davis settles in. Back to pass. Quick strike on the far side. Wide receiver screen. Caught across the 40. Now going down the sideline is Kenyon Morgan inside the 20. 10-5. They're not going to catch him. A flag comes in for taunting.
And here we go again.
As Morgan gets into the end zone. Now, here's the thing, Roland. You have another flag down the sideline as well. So you have a flag at the goal line and a flag at the 14. If the referee thinks that Morgan started his celebration before he gets into the end zone, you have cause there to deny Morgan the touchdown because the penalty occurred before he crosses the line. So we'll see what the referees indicate. There's 2 flags, remember, on the play.
See, here comes the call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Judson is one call. And they give me the indication that there is a first down called. So wipe the touchdown off the board. And they will mark the ball now at the 29-yard line in Cougar territory. So that's got to tell me the penalty happened at the 14-yard line, and the one that happened near the goal line is not the one that they called. And the referees are still trying to sort this out. The ball is marked at the 29-yard line. Coach McAuliffe is still out at the numbers, talking to the side judge. And now Coach Muchigimba gets the explanation, and Judson is going to end up taking a timeout here. And Roland, this is the one time you wish we had a direct line into a headset for the referees so we could hear what the explanation was. What we do know is it was unsportsmanlike conduct that goes against Judson, and it ends in a first down instead of a touchdown. Now, Coach McAuliffe has called a team meeting over on the far side with this timeout. The entire Judson team is huddled by the numbers. So this has got to be a talking to, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's, hey, look at the scoreboard, guys. You're up. This is Judson. We've done this, you know, year in and year out. You know, here again. Celebrate, yes, but do it within reason, for goodness sake, because otherwise, you know, look, we've just taken points off the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing of penalties, you know, a team like this, you could overcome the yardage, but what you don't want to do is set a bad tone going into playoffs.
That's
where
it,
you're
exactly.
Taking points off the board. That definitely can be the difference in a ball game.
Because you do that against a team that acts like they've been there before, it's going to come back to bite you.
On 1st and 10, Bailey Davis, zone read keeper, nowhere to go up the middle. He actually tries to throw the football there, ill-advised. Holds on to it, though, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. The running clock now under 5.5 here in the third. Jelon Williams will check back in as Amaria Bailey Davis goes to the sideline. So welcome back to the ball game, Jelon Williams. Commit to play football next year at the University of Houston. Hands the ball off to the running back who goes up the middle and is met immediately by number 32, Dallin Watanabe. The ball rusher is number 30, DeAnthony Lewis. Gets minimum gain, actually no gain, 3rd and 10. Clock continuing to run. Judson taking their time, getting back to the line. 20 on the play clock. Running back is Lewis to the right of Williams. Williams back to pass, flushed out here to the near side, gives it to a safety valve, in and out of the hands of the receiver intended for Deshaun Jones. It goes incomplete, sets up 4th down and 10. So Jelon Williams comes in to replace Amaria Bailey Davis. 2 run plays and a pass play that goes incomplete is all Jelon has to offer on that possession. And Shane King will be brought in to attempt a field goal of 46 yards. King on the year, 4 of 4, and has a long of 36, so this will be 10 yards beyond his long for this year. Snap back, kick on the way, has the leg, but this one is off the crossbar and no good.
Wow, that close. that close.
Bounces almost straight up, and it becomes how much of a bounce do you get, and it falls 1 yard short. for Shane King. You know, one of the statistics that is misleading is when a kicker is told what the long is. It's only the long that he's made in the year. It doesn't tell you his leg strength. So 36 yards is his long coming into tonight's ball game. You saw about what his range is there. From 46, he hits the crossbar.
And I still thought that after it hit the crossbar, it was going to bounce through.
No wind to speak of. All the flags are still and limp. And so that ball just kind of died in midair and fell down and hit the upright. So Canyon will have it 1st and 10 at their own 29. Going right to left, handoff up the middle, cold breath. Stop towards the line of scrimmage, able to dance his way forward to the 32. Minimum gain there, maybe 3.
And once again, the Marvin Leal with the stop for Judson. That young man's played a whale of a game. He's going to make some college coach proud somewhere. I tell you, he's a tenacious defender from that defensive line position.
2nd and 7 for Canyon. Trailing 39-7. Handoff, cold breath, right side of the Cougar line. Shy of the 35 to the 34. Another gain of about 2. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now. Ball spotted between the hashes. Your receivers on the near side are Lane Young and David Gonzalez in the slot. Far side, Facundo on the outside, far in the slot. Colbreth now to the left of Xavier. Has the ball, handoff. Colbreth shakes a tackle at the line of scrimmage, shifts to the left, but just unable to break out of the second tackle. Gain of 2 across the 35 to the 36. It'll be 4th down.
Donnie Moody from his linebacker position, of course, along with Marvin Leal coming over to make the stop that time on Nathan.
So an opportunity for Jacob Martinez to flip the field, perhaps. He'll go into deep punt standing at his 22. Return man set back for Judson is Marcus Harmon standing at his 30. Martinez, a high end-over-end kick, drives Harmon back, will let it bounce at the 30, touches a Cougar player at the 30 there. Ball will roll down to the 20, is down, but I think they're going to spot it at the 30 where it initially touched, I believe, Fabian Facundo.
Yeah, it bounced off of him. They should get the ball near the 30-yard line.
Give it to the 28 officially, and it'll be another opportunity for Judson offensively after a 37-yard punt. Nothing on the return.
Well, looking at some district scores right now to pass along to you. 5:33 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Wagner has extended their lead over East Central 39-9. And just underway 3rd quarter, actually, 10-10 left in the 3rd quarter to be precise. It's Smithson Valley with a 16-7 lead over New Braunfels.
Bailey Davis back as quarterback for Judson. Hand the ball off. Going to the left side is David Charles. Across the 30, shy of the 35, gain of about 5 there. First, Charles there on the 1st down.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Rockets as they line up at their own 33-yard line.
Bailey Davis, handoff again, Charles. Charles met initially, I believe that's Davis. Ball comes out as McKay picks it up. It's good to see Vance McKay back out there. The referees come in to say that Charles was down. So the possession will stay with Judson and a gain of 1.
Yeah, that was Martin Davis actually coming over to make the hit, stop that running back.
Again, the Cougars without Eric Taylor and Antonio DeLeon, who have been ejected from this ball game. Davis rolls out to the left, is drilled as he delivers the football. It's incomplete. Good pressure there by the Cougars defensively to force a bad throw.
That did good. We've seen the Cougars play a good defense tonight.
Flag is down on the far sideline.
I had a feeling that might happen. Let's see what the call is.
It's ineligible receiver downfield against Judson. So I believe Joe Muchigimba will decline this penalty.
Ineligible receiver, yeah.
And Judson will send on their punt team, number 3, Sincere McCormick, averaging 35 yards. A punt. Rivera standing at his own 35. minute and a half left to go in the third quarter. Judson with a 39-7 lead. About to give the ball back over to Canyon. With the penalty that was declined, I think one official actually marked off the penalty yardage and is now receiving word that what? They declined it, so he's got to mark it back. Referee checking again with Coach Muchigimbo. You sure you want to decline it? He says yes. We want the fourth down punt here. Unless you could strike a deal with Coach McAuliffe to get the penalty and a punt on third down.
That's
which
it.
I don't think he's going to bite on that. So McCormick will take it in deep punt at the 20-yard line. Movement on the line, but flags stay in. McCormick right leg into it, knuckleball. Rivera catches it and is drilled immediately at the 42 by number 5, Kashawn Fisher. Big hit, but Rivera holds on to it. And it'll be first down Canyon. Now kind of settling into a weird defensive battle as Canyon has thrown an interception. Judson responded with a missed field goal. Canyon punts and Judson punts. So the defense is starting to come to play here at the end of the third quarter. First and 10 Canyon. Getting a play here from the sideline. 1:21 left to go in the third quarter. Handoff Haney, right side, slips out of a tackle at the line of scrimmage, but unable to get out of the second one. Tackle made for Judson by Donnie Moody.
Yeah, some sound tackling by the Rocket defense.
Haney lost a shoe as one of the defenders went in low on him. He'll have to come out and retie his shoe and get that back on. So Colbreth checks in behind Xavier. 3 receivers here to the near side, Young, Farr, and Chisel. Wide receiver screen, Chisel drops it as 2 Rockets were in on it. And perhaps a good thing there as Chisel would have been dropped for a loss.
That's right. And here again, the Rocket defenders reading Xavier's eyes, saw where the ball was going. They adjusted quickly right toward Chisel. Sure, he heard him coming.
3rd and 9 now for Canyon. Pump fake for Xavier, looking down the middle of the field on a slant route, delivered and caught by Lane Young, now into Rocket territory at the 45 and a Cougar first down.
Hats off to Xavier. That was a great pump fake, and he found Lane Young right in the middle of the field that time. Great way to look the defenders off.
Quickly back to the line. Ball's given to Chisel, and Chisel drops it again in coverage. Hernandez with a big stick on Marcel Chisel, incomplete. Second down upcoming. Trying to set up another receiver screen here on the near side.
Right, this time Gonzalez not in the game as they're going with, of course, Chisel and Farr over here to the near side along with Lane Young.
Second down and 10. Hand off Colbreth, left side, running room across the 45-30. Into the Rocket secondary across the 20-15, tackled from behind inside the 10 to the 7.
The quick first step of Nathan Colbreth, and he did it again. Got down deep into Judson territory on a spectacular run up the middle of the through the middle of that Judson defense.
Spotted to the 7. They were getting kind of ahead of themselves inside the 5. Gain of 38 there for Nathan. First and goal now for Canyon. Last couple of seconds are bleeding off the clock to end the third quarter. And there is the buzzer. We played 3, 1 quarter left in 2017 high school football. For the Canyon Cougars, our score after 3, Judson 39, Canyon 7. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
I want to introduce you to HDNet movies. They're a group of folks that are out there who decided that it might be interesting to understand what the Western was. What we miss today in this business, more than anything else, is Westerns. I'm Bruce Dern, and I'm hosting a Cowboy Collection on HDNet movies.
GVTC. Just plain smart.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you alongside the Bandit, Austin Milam, our spotter statistician, Bo Wick, executive producer, here with you for one more quarter of high school football in 2017. Enter the fourth quarter, Judson on top, 39-7. But Canyon driving now inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. They'll have it first and goal.
And on a side note, how cool is this? The Canyon Marching Band busting out the strains of the Turtles Classic, Happy Together. The great Mark Volman and Howard Caitlin. Nice representation here at the football field.
And right next to our crowd mic, too, so that is definitely in my cans here.
Absolutely.
I think this song was on our pregame music playlist we had to get us ready for a broadcast.
The best pregame music in the world, courtesy of Ben Campos.
First and goal, Canyon from the 7. Pump fake, Xavier under pressure, setting up the screen. Ball goes incomplete. Looking for Farr, and it'll set up second down and goal.
And he got rid of that just in time as pressure was coming in, and the likes of Gabriel Jellison from his outside linebacker position.
Stops the clock there, just underway here, fourth quarter. Colbreth is to the left of Perez. Sends a man in motion. It's Chisel. Give it to him from right to left. Chisel with a burst of speed across the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Canyon.
I tell you what, when Chisel turns it upfield, that's quick. Oh, that young man's got some quicks.
First touchdown of 2017 for Marcel Chisel comes on senior night for the 5'10", 165-pound senior.
Well, I guess only fitting that a senior would get a touchdown on senior night. Congratulations, Marcel. Great run.
Martinez for the extra point. Ball is up and through. 11:52 left to go in this ball game, and Canyon has responded. It's Judson 39, Canyon 14. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
11:52 left to go in the ball game. The Canyon Cougars off the fleet feet of Marcel Chisel into the end zone. Put the Cougars back on the board, give them another touchdown. Extra point is good.
7-play drive, covers 58 yards and a minute and a half off the clock. Here's your scoring drive summary. Chisel in untouched from 7 yards on an end-around sweep. High, short, spinning kick is taken by a nut man at the 25, almost steps out of bounds. Finally brushed out at the 30. In on special teams there for Canyon is Mason Coons. So a short kickoff for Jacob Martinez minimizes the return from Judson. The ball first and 10 from the 31.
Well, from just down the road in Spring Branch, Texas, by the sea, the Smithson Valley Rangers on top of New Braunfels, 16-7. That's now with 3:57 left to go in the ball game.
That game moving quickly. We have 11:48 here. Bailey Davis back in for Judson. Handoff given, coming to the near side is a running back, DeAnthony Lewis, tripped up as he was turning upfield, falls forward across the 35 to the 36, gain of 5.
That credit Martin Davis grabbing a hold of those ankles, slowing him down, and eventually tripped him up.
Two receivers to the near side, one to the far. Lewis now in at running back. They fake it to him. Bailey Davis up the middle on the keeper, loses the football, and Canyon jumps on it. Another takeaway for this Cougar defense coming up at the end of the football, at the end of the play, was number 32, Dallin Watanabe.
Well, that's an interception and 2 fumble recoveries tonight for Canyon. See if they can take advantage of this and put another tally on the board.
They also have a block punt tonight. the Cougars' defense/special teams.
That bench deal in on that.
Again, the Cougars without Eric Taylor, without Antonio De Leon for this ball game. Jacob Solbrigg still on the sideline.
Now David Gonzalez back in the game. He's on the far side.
Handoff given to Callan Farr. Did I say David Gonzalez? I meant out Antonio De Leon. That's my mistake there. But you're right, David Gonzalez is in. Handoff to Farr, gets 3 yards to the 39. The percussion from that from the band really getting into my head there.
You know, that'll do it to you every time. Those drummers, you know.
You know, usually you have noise-canceling headphones or something like that in your ears, and yet we have a microphone standing right next to us.
That's right.
On 2nd down and 7, pass over the middle by Xavier. Ball is incomplete, deflected, and will fall to the ground, so 3rd and 7 upcoming.
Yeah, Shea Calvin almost grabbed another interception for the Judson Rockets this evening. Turned right into that.
At the 39, need to get to the 32 of Judson. Cougars moving left to right. Far in motion from right to left. Screen set up, looking for Haney, and I think Xavier's just going to have to dump it to get rid of it. Avoids the rush, and it'll be 4th down upcoming for Canyon. I think rolling 4-down territory here.
Absolutely, and gosh, DeMarvin Leal again, getting through that offensive line of Canyon quickly into the backfield to rattle Xavier Pettis. He's done that very effectively all night.
10.5 left to go in this ball game. Canyon trails 39-14. Stuck here on a 4th and 7 into Rocket territory at the 39. Rolling the pocket to the right is Xavier. Taking a shot deep downfield. Callan had a step there for a second, but the ball goes incomplete as he overshoots everybody. Another turnover on downs for Canyon.
Yeah, just overthrew Callan Farr that time. 242 yards of total offense for Canyon. Judson well over 400 yards last week, now 565. They're knocking on the door to 600 yards tonight of total offense.
Bailey Davis is going to check back in. His numbers 2 of 4, 68 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a fumble loss. Settle back in. 1st and 10, Judson from their own 39. Handoff given to the right side. Running back turns upfield. Now into Cougar territory. Flag comes in. Running the ball there is Michael Wright for Judson. We'll check the flag there as Wright gets down to the Cougar 39. Holding the indication against Judson, so mark back 10 yards. Referee still talking it over with some of the Cougar players. This will be the 9th penalty against Judson, costing them 84 yards, pushes them back to the 45-yard line. Because it's a spot foul, you're going to get a 1st down and about 4 here. Bailey Davis running to the right side, or left side. Cougars are there. A number of them alongside Martin Davis is Josh Heiser and number 36, Cole Seeley. Loss of about 2. 2nd down and 5 from the 44. Bailey Davis. Handoff on a wide receiver end around. Spins out of the tackle at midfield. The runner is Marcus Harmon. Spins into Cougar territory, enough for a Rocket 1st down.
Yeah, once again, Martin Davis with the stop, as we were talking about, among the team leaders in tackles this season, and tonight no different. What a performance he's put on defensively.
Clock running now 9.5 as Judson is going to have to sub off Sean Richburg, the wide receiver on the far side, kind of got caught up at the end of the play, so he limps over to the sideline. A new Rocket comes in at wide receiver. And the Rockets are back to the line. On first down, Harmon in motion. They fake it to him. Bailey Davis will take it on the end around, quarterback keeper. And nothing doing. Again, good pursuit by the Cougar defense there. Martin Davis and J.C. Robledo making contact.
Yes, indeed.
Second down and 10 as the clock continues to run, now under 9 minutes. Bailey Davis, handoff. Coming to the near side is the running back, DeAnthony Lewis. Turns the corner at the 35, takes a couple of Cougars with them. It's going to be a gain of about 5.
Reagan Hopper over to make the stop that time for Canyon defensively. Reagan, a junior, 5'11", 175-pound junior. He'll be back on this Cougar squad next season.
Tons and tons of juniors contributing to this Cougar team that we will see back next year in 2018. 3rd and 6. Lewis to the right of Bailey Davis. They set up a screen. They give it to him. Heiser's there along with Davis to bring him to the ground. It's going to be a loss of 3. Good play by the Canyon defense.
Oh, just keying on that safety valve there that time for the Rockets. Great job, great presence of mind there for Josh Heiser. Great job bringing him down.
Sets up a 4th down. Rivera will go in deep receiving at about his 10-yard line. McCormick sent back in. McCormick is a starting running back, so he has to put his gloves back on. I think he thought his night was over. Taking all the time off this play clock here, now under 3, now 2. McCormick has it. Knuckleball sent. Rivera will let it bounce. Flag comes in and bounces inside the 15, now trickles inside the 10, and is down by Fisher at the 9. We'll check the flag.
Now, would that one have been labeled a worm burner, just out of curiosity there, Ben Campos?
Not enough speed on it. I mean, you got to really have some venom on that to keep going. But
I got to get my worm burner down here.
That's just a knuckleball. Checking the flag here. Ball rests at the flag rests at the 23. This is going to go against Canyon. It's a 38-yard punt as it stands with nothing on the return. So I think you're just going to have to add perhaps half the distance here. Either way you look at it, Roland, it's a long field to go for Canyon. Holding is the official indication, so Canyon will have it inside their 5 with 95.5 yards to go. 7 minutes left to go in the season for Canyon, trailing 39-14. New play in from the sideline. Play clock approaching 10. Xavier with it, handoff Colbreth, right side, some running room across the 5, met by the Rocket outside linebacker, shy of the 10 to the 9.
Yeah, Samari Crane coming over to make the stop from his, actually from his defensive line position. He's a junior. As you were mentioning, clock running. Now under 7 minutes left to go in the ball game this evening.
2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4. Canyon slowing down their offense a bit. Handoff, Colbreth, left side, nothing doing. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe actually they'll give him to the 10, so gain of 1. You know, one of the biggest fears I had growing up, Roland, is spending time as a ball boy, is you're playing with the ball ready to go in, and all of a sudden you drop the football, it takes a weird bounce and goes onto the play of field. And that's what happened to one of the ball boys there on the far sideline.
Oh, man.
While the play was going, and so
gosh.
I could see the fear on his face, but no harm done there. On third down, deep slant route is through the midst of Callan Farr, incomplete. So flag is down, though, in the backfield. Personal foul, roughing the passer against Judson, so this will keep the drive alive.
You mentioning fears, I'll give you one. When I was a reporter many, many years ago for a television station, and we had the ill-fated San Antonio Gunslingers of the USFL, I was on the sideline, and you guessed it, running back Larry Canada, who was a big guy, must have been about 210, 215 pounds, coming straight at me. I mean, as he's being, and I saw my life pass in front of my eyes. Oh, my goodness.
Stories about the Gunslingers as flag comes in. I think Canyon broke a huddle with too many men, so illegal substitution, the indication. But one of my favorite stories about those Gunslingers, of course, you had Rick Neuheisel on those teams, and the whole team and training staff, equipment managers, rushing to the bank with their checks.
They had to do it in Lavernia. You bet. They had to drive down to Lavernia.
Some of them fearing the checks wouldn't have enough funds in there to pass and would bounce, so you wanted to be one of the first ones to catch them. On 1st and 15, fake the handoff, slant route, balls off the hands of Callan Farr. He had it, but you could tell Roland kind of took his eyes off it as he was looking downfield.
Yeah, it's a question of trying to run without the football right there.
Brings up 2nd down and 15. Stops the clock at 5.5. Delay handoff. Chisel runs right into a bear hug and is going to lose about 3 or 4 yards. Making the tackle there for Judson is Darian Brown, the 290-pound defensive lineman. Wears number 7.
I tell you, that was a great call there, but here again, the presence of mind, the alertness of that Rocket defense wasn't buying it. They didn't buy the fake at all.
Rarely, Roland, do you see a body that wide and just a single digit on the jersey. You expect something in the 90s or something for a defensive lineman at 290 pounds. On 3rd down, Perez rolling to his left, throws the ball down the sideline, overshoots Farr by about 7 yards, incomplete. And I like this idea, though, and we've seen this on a couple of occasions. You send a man in motion from left to right. It kind of looks like Canadian football there. You at least give him a head of steam, and then as the ball snaps, he's able to turn upfield.
Yeah.
We've seen that 2 or 3 times in this ball game, so perhaps a wrinkle being taken into the offseason for Coach Trenton Kirkland. This is his first season of offensive coordinator. Martinez on to punt. Oh, this one's a shank. It's high, it's wobbly. Takes a Cougar bounce at the 43 into Rocket territory at the 45. Check that 47-yard line.
You were mentioning Coach Kirkland a couple of minutes ago. If I'm not mistaken, his former team, the Taylor, taking on the Canyon Lake Hawks this evening in a big district game for them. Also part of our network that we love so dearly.
Our sister station, the Hawks Network, will follow Canyon Lake and their playoff run. Also, the Rangers Network will be with you to bring you Smithson Valley football. So take a look at what else is out there at Comal ISD schools. And handoff is given to the right side, and a big stick. Ball comes
ball's
out.
On the ground.
And Canyon again forces another turnover and gets the ball back. Wow, you know, Canyon coming into this ball game, Roland, and this was kind of a quiet statistic, but they fumbled the ball 7 times versus East Central. They lost it 4, but they did put the ball on the ground 7 times, and that put Canyon to their turnover margin of -9 on the year. And already you have a blocked punt, you have an interception, you have 2 fumble recoveries. This defense, Roland, came to play and forced some turnovers tonight.
They certainly did. And, well, we get this play in, and I've got something to share here momentarily.
First and 10 Canyon from the Rocket 48. Fake the handoff. Another quick strike to the near side is in and out of the hands of Trevor Pape. And Roland, that's a name we called early in the season and just haven't called his name in the past 7 weeks or so.
Right. He was looking like that go-to guy, or the weapon that just wasn't being keyed on. And you're right, Pape been quiet for the last several weeks, as Callan Farr has taken over a lot of the receptions for the Canyon Cougars.
Pape had 9 catches for 65 yards and 2 touchdowns, but has been without a catch for 7 straight weeks. Handoff to Haney, coming to the near side, stays on his feet, tiptoes the sideline across the 35-30. Will be pushed out of bounds at the 28. Good run by Seth.
You know, we were talking about the fumbles a few minutes ago and the fumbles this evening. Despite the margin on the scoreboard, you better know that the Judson defensive coordinator, the Judson coaching staff are going to give these guys a talking to about turning over the ball so much.
Our district will pair with District 28 6A as the handoff goes to Haney and goes on the left side. And it's just I did not look at how the bracket shapes up, but in that district, Roland, it's that the North Side Independent School District. You got teams like Brandeis and Brennan in that district, so you're not exactly getting a cream puff or anything like that facing any team out of that district.
No, indeed. As a matter of fact, there was one contest. It escapes me last night, but it was really tight, and it was a North Side ISD, a couple of teams.
On second down, Perez takes a high snap, bobbles it, recovers, goes to the left side, makes something out of it, dives forward to the 23-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 4.
It said it was a 44-41 game last night or something like that. I want to see it involve Brandeis or Brennan or I don't know. So many schools, so little time. It just escapes my mind. To quote Kawhi Leonard, blows my mind.
Love those commercials. 3rd and 5 for Canyon. Handoff fake to Haney. Perez in the open field. Jukes a man at the 20. Dives forward to the 17-yard line. Enough for a Cougar first down. Keep the chains moving. Now approaching 3 minutes left to go in this ballgame.
And as you were saying, as we do approach 3 minutes, just Xavier Bettis, we've seen some great things from you this season. We've seen him maturing, and I certainly look forward to next season seeing you on the gridiron.
1st and 10, handoff, fake to Haney.
Look at there.
Give it to Pape on out of the backfield, a play-action pass, and Pape has his first catch since back here in the home opener versus San Marcos. Crazy to think about it. We thought he had such a big game in that game versus San Marcos. Again, the home opener in week 2. 7 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown, and since then, nothing until that last play.
And this is his final game on the gridiron for the Canyon Cougars tonight, as he is a senior.
Fake the handoff to Haney. A new running back was in, not looking for the football, as the pass was supposed to be to Connor Renault, and Renault forgot he's supposed to be the target player on that pass. Perez does well to just throw it away, incomplete.
That's it. That's maturity. That's composure. He held on to the football, tried to throw it away, which he did, but that could have been disastrous.
Stops the clock at 2:09, 3rd and 5 for Canyon here at the 13-yard line. Judson's showing blitz. New play coming in from the sideline for Xavier. Shouts instructions. Slap of the hands here, has it. Zone read, give to Haney, goes up the middle and maybe a yard to the 12. This will be 4th down.
And I guess at this point you just go for it. Clock ticking away.
Well, Roland, again, former kicker, I'm in big favor here sending down the Jacob Martinez and let the kicker feel good.
And boy, what a season he's had. You
really
know, we've sang his praises, and I think rightfully so. Wow, you hope the young man decides to continue past high school, but if not, it's been an honor.
Bat to pass on 4th down. Pass intended for Gonzalez is In and out of the hands of Hernandez. The ball was a little bit behind of Gonzalez. It goes incomplete and turned the ball over on downs for Canyon with 1:26 left. So many playmakers on this offense, Roland, will come back next year. Across the offensive line, you're losing 4 of 5. Adam Alcorta will come back as your left tackle, but playmakers Xavier Perez and Callan Farr, of course, is only a sophomore. We've seen Seth Haney, Owen Worley, Nathan Colbreth. We've called the names of Jacob Garcia, Isaiah Scott, and Anthony Sabota. Of course, your kicker, Jacob Martinez, will be back as well, so it will be reload for Coach Trenton Kirkland and Joe Muchagimba in 2018 as a handoff will go up the middle to Michael Wright, and making the tackle there is Zach Fansteel.
You know, I was going to bring up the subject of intangibles tonight. Just those little things that you can't necessarily see statistically that set out in favor of a certain team or another one. I think one of those intangibles for Canyon next season is going to be a little thing called experience. Mm-hmm. They've matured so much this year. They bring that maturity into the 2018 season as many of them will be turning seniors, and they're going to be fun to watch.
On 2nd down and 7, handoff right again and up the middle again, and closes
ball's
the
on
football.
The ground again.
My goodness, another fumble recovery for Canyon. Turns the ball over for Judson. Their third fumble in a row on 3 consecutive possessions.
And that's what, their 4th or 5th turnover of the night?
I have 3 fumbles, 4 fumbles, an interception, and if you want to consider the block punt as well. So never would have imagined Canyon could crawl out of that -9 turnover margin on the last game versus Judson.
There you go.
They're threatening at least.
Guess what's going to be shown in those coaching films?
37 seconds left. Handoff Colbreth up the middle, and Colbreth squirts free to the 17-yard line, and timeout is called by Coach Joe Muchagimba to stop the clock at 31 seconds. And let's turn to the other side of the football, Roland. A couple of juniors will lead that defense next year. James Perez at the defensive tackle position. Your defensive ends Reagan Hopper and Dallin Watanabe. In the linebacking core, Cole Seeley will be back, and in the secondary, you'll rely on Vance McKay, names that we've called throughout the year. Yes, you're losing a lot of playmakers on defense, but you're going to reload with some good experience as well.
Absolutely, and those names you mentioned, I'll take them. I'll have them on my team. You better believe it.
We mentioned Eric Taylor, Josh Heiser playing in their last games as Canyon Cougars alongside J.C. Robledo, Martin Davis, who's the lead tackler at that middle linebacker position, Antonio DeLeon, and really can't say enough about this secondary led by Fabian Facundo, Zach Fansteel, and Cooper Holm, all seniors for Canyon. On 2nd down, they throw a fade route to the back corner of the end zone, incomplete, intended for Young, stops the clock at 26 seconds. Trying to extend, I guess, senior night by a couple more minutes.
I guess so. Yeah. Final, by the way, from down the road in Spring Branch, the Smithson Valley Rangers defeated the New Braunfels Unicorns by a final score of 23-7.
So Smithson Valley, Roland, I would not have guessed this. I mean, you never count out Smithson Valley, no matter the circumstances, but never would have put them in the conversation for a district championship. For sure, you would have said that they would have represented this district for the playoffs. As the handoff comes to the near side, Colbreth turns the corner at the 15, might have enough for a Cougar first down. He does to stop the clock momentarily at 19 seconds. Now a full stop of the clock at 19 seconds. But it goes to show what a job that Larry Hill's done over there at Smithson Valley. You lose a 3-year starter in Josh Atkins for Smithson Valley. You don't know what's going to happen, and yada, yada, yada. They only lose 1 game in district, 1 game all year, and they're going to be the district champions.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because a player of the caliber of Josh Atkins that we got to see last year, that'd be tough to replace. But you know what? They've got the job done. And perhaps that might have been the reason. Although Clemens always seems to play them tough. Year in and year out, Clemens is just
a good ball team.
Yeah.
Clemens is a very good ball team.
Absolutely. And games I thought, well, maybe Smith and Valley can count on a W here. Not against Clemens. And really, it's a difficult thing to say at all in this district, to be honest, because you never can tell week in and week out. One of the toughest districts, definitely in the area.
19 seconds left as the Cougars get back onto the field. Quick pass to the far sideline, caught by Facundo. They try to set up the screen. Facundo is going to lose 2 yards and bring up second down. Clock ticks. No, another timeout taken by Coach Joe Muchagimba. And Roland, so you mentioned intangibles when you were talking about the team and the juniors that were coming back. Something that doesn't show up in the schedule, though, and it's a tough schedule as it is. But when you consider how tough the Cougar schedule was, you add into this. When they faced New Braunfels, Smithson Valley, and Judson, they got those teams after their first loss of the year.
Right.
They got the Unicorns after a loss to Judson, and the Unicorns responded with a 49-7 win here at Cougar Stadium. You got Smithson Valley right after their loss to Clemens, and you got Judson after their loss to Smithson Valley. So the opportunity to even sneak up on an opponent, well, that opponent is just coming off a loss. You know that coaching staff has their attention.
Oh, yeah, no autopilot. Yeah, absolutely. You're on full alert.
Makes their schedule that much tougher. Now on second down, handoff to Facundo on a receiver end around, trying to stiff arm a guy at the 15, kept in bounds. And the final seconds of the 2017 high school football season have bled off the clock. Our final score, is Judson 39 and Canyon 14. We'll step aside here on the Cougars Network when we come back, post-game coverage from Cougar Stadium. This is Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Make memories of a lifetime this Thanksgiving weekend at Bernie's 18th Annual Dickens on Main celebration Friday and Saturday, November 24th and 25th. Stroll Main Street Snowy Wonderland as you enjoy live ice sculpting, a 60-foot snow slide, photos with Santa, and of course holiday shopping along Bernie's Hill Country Mile. Dickens on Main features fun children's activities, live performances like Bah Humbug, a one-man Christmas carol, horse-drawn carriages, food merchants, and amazing concerts each night. And admission is free. Visit dickensonmain.com for all the details.
With the loss, the Cougars dropped to 2-8 on the year and a 2-5 in district play. With the win, Judson improves to 9-1 overall and 6-1 in district at 27-6A. Again, your final score, the Judson Rockets 39, the Canyon Cougars 14. Now, for my broadcast partner this evening, Roland, I'll just say it's been a pleasure and very fun spending this high school football season with you.
Ben, it's been an honor. I thank you and Austin and Bo Wick and everybody here at Wick Productions for having me. It's been great, and hopefully saying goodbye. This is just so long till the next sport.
Well, I'll say this for you, Roland, and for our spotter statistician, the Governor, Austin Milam, and for our executive producer, Bo Wick. Again, I am Ben Campos, wishing you a good night and a safe drive home from Cougar Stadium in New Braunfels, Texas.